Protesters taking to the streets, heading for the state capitol. APD and the Georgia State Patrol moved in, firing tear gas, making at least 8 arrests. We're going to check in with Hope Ford, who's been with the protesters all night, in a few minutes.
All right, so let's back it up. Here's how we got to this point. A grand jury recommended charges against one of 3 officers involved in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor in Louisville. Officers killed Taylor in her home as she slept back in March. They were serving a no-knock warrant when they broke down her door as part of a drug investigation. Ex-Louisville Police Detective Brett Hankinson is charged with wanton endangerment for firing into several apartments and endangering Taylor's neighbors. The other 2 officers who were there are not charged, and none of the 3 is charged in her death. The emotions in Louisville resonated so closely here to people in Atlanta. 11 Alive, Chanu Her is live now in Atlanta for us. And Chanu, you talked to a lot of protesters out there who really had a lot to say.
Yeah, Aisha, overall, just lots of frustration from protesters today in Atlanta over the decision from the Kentucky grand jury today in this Breonna Taylor case. Shortly after that decision, already groups rallied. They protested in Atlanta to voice their frustrations, not only over the Breonna Taylor case, but they also want to bring attention back to the George Floyd case, as well as the Rayshard Brooks case.
Say her name.
Her name has become a rallying cry in the fight against police brutality and racial injustice across the country. 6 months after Breonna Taylor was shot and killed, protesters in Atlanta were emotional about the Kentucky grand jury's decision in the case. It didn't charge 3 Louisville police officers for her death and only charged 1 former officer with an unrelated charge of wanton endangerment.
The Attorney General did not proceed with the appropriate charges. I think all officers involved should have been charged with at least manslaughter.
Civil rights attorney Gerald Griggs helped others organize a rally Wednesday evening in Southwest Atlanta. He was frustrated, speaking to elected officials about what they say is an ongoing issue.
But we want them to understand that we are tired of having to have the same conversation with them over and over and over again.
We have justice issues within this state and within this city alone.
Reverend Jared Sawyer Jr. and Griggs say they've protested in Louisville recently, and because they felt the injustice in Atlanta as well, from the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick back in February to the police killing of Rayshard Brooks in June in Southeast Atlanta.
You just feel a little landlocked, as though you just can't get past where we are right now so that we can truly experience that justice and equity.
Justice and equity, this group says they'll never stop fighting for.
And so what comes next? This group says now they also want to put the pressure on Georgia Attorney General Carr to bring justice to the cases involving Ahmaud Arbery and also Rayshard Brooks. Ron?